This week in the Spotlight, we congratulate the Loyola Ramblers, finishing in the Final Four for the first time in all that time. And we go to Ed Bishke's sensational Blackhawk basement, one of the great collectible spaces I've ever seen. And we flash back to some of the great Blackhawks of all time. That's Tony O. And we flash back, that's Chris Chelios. This week on the Spotlight. Check out my website, benkowski.com, for my weekly article and up-to-the-minute trivia sites. It's the Perfect Pitch Auto Repair Sports Spotlight. Great repairs at 108th and Kedzie. Flowers for every imaginable occasion at Lansing Floral Shop. Call them at 708-474-1212. They deliver. You've got to get to Gilhooly's for my trivia game. Friday, April 27th at 8 p.m. We have stuff like music, movies, TV, sports, and your requests. Eat, drink, and play. It's over at 103rd. You've got to get to the Sock. Live Benkowski Trivia. Alternate Thursdays, 8 p.m., 93rd and Roberts Road. See you there. With a 30-year Southwest Side tradition, Huck Finn is open 24 hours to serve you with great breakfasts like the Becky Thatcher, soups, great lunches, 1/3 pound burgers, clubs, and much more. Dinners from seafood to steaks to pasta, great donuts, and ice creams. With 3 locations at Archer and Damon, 67th and Pulaski, and 105th and Cicero. Stop in today. You know Huck Finn is open. You've got to get to Dr. Sherman Clay, chiropractor. Gentle adjusting. Most insurance accepted. Massage therapy, too. Walk-ins are welcome. Call 773-324-4325. That's HEAL. Dr. Sherman Clay. You've got to get to Lulu's because they've got it all. Italian beef, hot dogs, burgers, chicken, gyros, fish, salads, subs, ribs, and a lot more. At Taylor and Ogden, 2200 West, you got to check out Lulu's. They got everything. You've got to get to the Wise Owl. They have pizzas, pork sliders, Cuban, carrot soup, elote burgers. My trivia game alternate Thursdays at 8 p.m. Great cocktails and bartenders. Easy to reach at Van Buren and Racine by the UIC neighborhood. The Wise Owl is a very cool place with way better than average bar food. I will see you soon at the Wise Owl. You've got to get to Shelton Fireworks, the world's largest warehouse, off Interstate 94, exit 22B in Porter, Indiana. Row after row of the best fireworks anywhere, from the little ones to the grand finales that'll end your show. Birthdays, anniversaries, graduations, in addition to the 4th of July. Just get over there to Shelton Fireworks now. Then you can reload by the time summer comes. Shelton Fireworks, I-94, exit 22B in Porter. Welcome to another edition of the Spotlight. We are in a very unique place. We're in the home of Ed Bishke, and his home is a shrine to the Blackhawks. Quite a museum you have here, Ed. Start us off by describing some of your jerseys on the wall.
We have Pierre Platte, who won the Norris, also the Stanley Cup in 1961, one of the best defensemen of the Hawks.
Yes, he was their longtime captain. He had that cool crew cut back before the helmet days. Yes. And let's continue.
Bobby Hull, the Golden Jet, none better. What could you say? He's the best. Yes.
Greatest, and still going around doing bar shows and being available to the public, and a guy who never said no to an autograph. Just great with the public.
Oh, yes. Okay.
All right, let's continue.
Next, Stan Mikita, Blackhawks, player that's been with them forever. He's the best.
He is the best, and unfortunately he's had some health issues of late. I had the pleasure to do a couple of bar shows with him. Highly opinionated and very spirited, and what a great man who, changed his game. He was kind of a fighter when he first came into the league, and then he ended up winning a Lady Byng.
Yes.
All right, we got a goaltender here.
Glenn Hall, another Stanley Cup winner in 1961. To To think he played without a mask is incredible.
Yes, and I think he played 500 consecutive games in the net. And they say he threw up before every game, but we don't have to get into that. This is more current now.
Corey Crawford, of course, two-time Stanley Cup champion. Without him, it just shows, how important he is to the Blackhawks.
No doubt. Continue.
Nicholas Hjalmarsson, another three-time Cup winner. Great defenseman. Sad to see him go.
Yes. And finally?
Brent Seabrook, another Stanley Cup three-time winner. What a guy. Watch him grow up to the player he has become is incredible.
And one of only 5 Blackhawks to have played in 1,000 NHL games as Hawks. We congratulate him for that milestone. And we have some more Blackhawk material coming up on the show. Stay and watch this. To another edition of the Benkowski Sports Spotlight. I'm Pat Benkowski at the office with my son Zach, and we're going to be telling you about a lot of interesting things this week, an especially intriguing show. A lot of hockey action. It was the All-Star Weekend, of course, and we'll start with the old-timers, and the grandest of which, the captain, Stan Mikita first.
We were having some fun, Pat. Yeah, I think that's what this night is all about, at least for tonight, for a few hours.
The coaching, in addition to the playing, and some of that fancy stick work there was beyond the call of duty.
Well, Murray Bannerman looked like on that one goal he let in, he looked a little weak, so we had to pull him before we blew that lead. And then, of course, bringing Bob Sauvé over, he's familiar with this building, but I just wanted to make sure he had the moves down.
How long you been doing that yo-yo puck trick?
Actually, what yo-yo puck trick?
When you were faking everybody out.
That's just my normal stick handling.
He does it with a deadpan, too.
Did you have any part in convincing Bobby to play tonight?
Did I have any part? Bobby's over 21, so I think he kind of made up his own mind. I thought it was very nice of him that, I don't know when we'll have an all-star game back here again, especially in this building. And if it's 25 years from now, God knows where the hell we're going to be. So I thought it was a great gesture on Bobby's part to kind of put aside some of the problems that we're experiencing and come out and at least salute the fans at one time.
It's quite the ovation they gave you.
We're extremely pleased with that and extremely happy, and just goes to show you that fans don't forget, even though majority of them never saw us play.
Can you address maybe what's going on with the alumni group and some of the work you need to do?
Well, we have our scholarship fund that we set up, and that's our main objective. We try to help each other out wherever possible. Right now, I think Reggie Fleming has some bills piled up from his hospital stay after his heart attack, and thank God he's doing well, and hopefully we can raise some money for him.
I know in a larger sense, the league was had a little issue with some of the pension dollars, and that was also an important thing that was being discussed.
Well, it was discussed this weekend. I didn't have time to attend any of the meetings, but after this is over, I think we'll find out a little more about it and see exactly what's going on. I'm not that well versed on it at this point.
Stan, how about the current flock of NHL All-Stars? Your thoughts on some of the Blackhawks who are on the club?
Well, what I've seen so far, I think Stevie Larmer's having a great year, and Jeremy Roenick, and of course Chelios has been a great added treasure to the Blackhawks, and a pleasure, not only a treasure. And those three guys, they're the bulwark of the team, but they're not the whole team. And I like what I'm seeing this year. Everybody is into it. Even a guy like Mike Hudson, who doesn't really play that much, or at least it doesn't look like he does. He gets quoted in the paper saying that we're sticking together and we're doing this and we're doing that. So that's a real nice thing to see. I have my fingers crossed that maybe we can have another parade in Chicago for our hockey team.
You've got to get to Lansing Floral Shop. Open at 8 a.m. daily. Besides a great array of live flowers, they have custom silks, Bridgewater candles. They want you to plan your parties early on a wide delivery area. They're located at 3420 Ridge Road in Lansing, or you can call 708-474-1212. Weddings, funerals, birthdays, anniversaries, and guys, try the No Reason flower. Believe me, it works. Lansing Floral Shop. Give them a call, 708-474-1212. Kim G. Sherman, psychotherapist, Desplaines Wellness Center. Therapy for individuals, couples, families. Call 847-962-4849. I've known Kim for over 20 years. She is a true professional, and she will help you. Give her a call. Family dentist, Lawrence Furland, DDS, 109th and Kedzie, crowns, veneers, cleanings, improving your smile. They do a great job. Call 773-233-7044. Excellent work, impeccable. Call the family dentist, 773-233-7044. They did a great job for me, and they'll do a great job for you. You've got to get to Shelton Fireworks, the world's largest warehouse, off Interstate 94, exit 22B in Porter, Indiana. Row after row of the best fireworks anywhere, from the little ones to the grand finales that'll end your show. Birthdays, anniversaries, graduations, in addition to the 4th of July. Just get over there to Shelton Fireworks now. Then you can reload by the time summer comes. Shelton Fireworks, I-94, exit 22B in Portage. We're back on the spotlight at Ed Bischke's personalized Blackhawk Museum in his house in the southwest suburbs. I'm not going to reveal the town, so you don't try to come in here and steal anything. Because it's amazing. He might sell you some stuff, but you'll work it out with him. Anyway, Ed, you got this amazing collection of bobbleheads. Tell me some of the old school 60s Hawks that you have up there on the shelf.
Well, they have like Keith Magnuson, Bobby Hull, Stan Mikita, Pierre Plot, Glenn Hall, and Denny Savard.
Oh, yeah. Well, Denny Savard, a little more modern era. I mean, he's kind of a tweener. He came to the Hawks in 1980, played throughout the 80s, and, of course, was part of that shocking trade that brought Chris Chelios here. I got to do many. I got to quickly tell you about a quick Savard story. When he left the Hawks, usually a player has a press conference at the United Center, you know, or the stadium. He had it at his house. He invited the press to his home, and out on his back patio, his wife served cocktails. It was unreal. All right, enough of that. But back to this. Now, modern era Hawks from this group of Stanley Cup winners, who do you have?
Well, basically, everyone they put out there.
Yeah, give me a top five.
Patrick Kane, of course. Jonathan Toews. Brent Seabrook. Corey Crawford. And Nicholas Hjalmarsson.
Beautiful. And there's a lot more. There's people from the front office. I think I saw a Scotty Bowman.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah, just an amazing, amazing collection. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. A lot more to show you later in the program. But right now we're going to go back to Blackhawk vintage material that we hope you enjoy.
How about skating on stadium ice? That feeling?
Never forgot how, but it was how fast. These people are wonderful, and it's great to come back here.
A lot of the folks are waiting for you to
Prime of my life here, and never forget it.
I think a lot of the fans are waiting for you to wind up and take an old blast.
I can't wind up anymore. That's why I'm not out there. I was 52 on the 3rd of January.
Still looking good.
Thank you.
Tony, geez, it's been a long time since we chatted, and since we chatted, you're part of a whole new NHL franchise. Can you tell our fans about it?
Well, the way it goes is, first you play, and then you get an opportunity with one team, and you figure you get fired, and that's the end of the world. And another great thing came along with this Tampa Bay franchise, and it's going to be a tremendous challenge, Pat. I'm going to finally get to work with my brother Phil, and I think with Phil as the boss, and I'll be right beside him to help him, I think that we will build a solid team.
Well, obviously you've had time to learn the inner workings of player personnel, and I suspect that's going to be what you're going to be concentrating on, right?
Well, we're going to have to wear many hats at the start. I mean, I'm going to do everything that's necessary, and as long as Phil is too, he's going to have to worry about getting players. We're going to have to scout. We're both going to be doing that in the first year, and then we're going to, we know pretty much on how to handle a team financially. So there's no one job, and then we got to go find a farm team, and you got to do all these other things. So we're going to be, like I say, change hats every day. Today you're in charge of personnel. Tomorrow you're a scout. And the next day you got to worry about the financial end.
Well, I know you're going to give a little bit of a subjective answer to this, but when you're building a franchise and you're looking at a roster, do you start with a goaltender?
Yeah, we're going to look and see who the best available is, and we're going to get a good goaltender. That's a must. And if I have to trade draft picks for top goaltender, that's our priority is goaltending.
You know, the Blackhawks have 5. Maybe they are subject to be rated.
Well, I don't know. I think you're only going to be able to protect 2 at that time, I guess. There are probably going to be some available, but I'm going to look through the list and see who's available. And I know this, that if you want to be successful, you got to have the guy in the net.
Well, the Hawks have 3 young ones. I'm going to guess they're going to protect Belfour, but if you had a crack at the Czechoslovakian Dominik Hasek or the Frenchman Jimmy Waite, what do you think of those guys?
They've been highly rated. I've only seen Jimmy Waite play a couple times, and the Czech Hasek, I think I've seen him play one time. So toward the end of this year, early next year, I'm going to be looking around and studying all the goalies that are going to be available. But that's priority, and then the other big thing is you can't mess up in that junior draft. You're going to get one of the top picks. If we mess that up, then we're in trouble.
Makita, Hull, and Tony O, 3 of the greatest Blackhawk stars of all time. With a 30-year Southwest Side tradition, Huck Finn is open 24 hours to serve you with great breakfasts like the Becky Thatcher, soups, great lunches, 1/3 pound burgers, clubs, and much more. Dinners from seafood to steaks to pasta, great donuts, and ice creams. With 3 locations at Archer and Damon, 67th and Pulaski, and 105th and Cicero. Stop in today. You know Huck Finn is open. Go play at Red Shoes Billiards, 12009 South Pulaski in Ulsan, featuring 16 Brunswick Gold Crown pool tables, drop fluorescent lighting fixtures, and the fabulous Raid of Cloth. Call 708-388-3700. And now video gaming is available at Red Shoes from open till close. And don't forget, the Illinois Lottery too. That's Red Shoe Billiards, 12009 South Pulaski. You've got to get to the Sock Live Minkowski Trivia, alternate Thursdays at 8 p.m. 93rd and Roberts Road. Great game, great people. Check out the Sock. I think you'll be glad you did when you go to my trivia game every other Thursday. 8 p.m., 93rd and Roberts Road. Perfect Pitch Auto Repair at 108th and Kedzie does tune-ups, transmission, AC service, engine repair, tire repair, oil changes, and emission system repair. They're open Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., and they've done a great job for me. Perfect Pitch Auto Repair at 108th and Kedzie. You've got to get to Papa Joe's new location, 5900 West 111th Street. Italian beef, tetrazzini, great pizza, Parmesan, ravioli, and more. All my classic choices. New location, and they can still deliver into the city. Get to Papa Joe's. We're back on the spotlight at one of the most amazing man caves you'll ever see. It's Ed Bischke's Blackhawk basement. Say that 5 times fast. And just amazing Blackhawk memorabilia that he's acquired over the years. Let's start over here. There's some really cool stuff. Being a goalie yourself, you're 2 of the goalies I know the best. Explain what we have there in that very fancy painted helmet.
Actually, that's I just had that done by Pat's custom painting. He replicated Belfour's mask for me. He did a beautiful job. I mean, as you can tell, he's my favorite goalie. Then I have also Tony Esposito. That's another great of the Hawks. I mean, these guys are my heroes growing up.
No doubt. I was fortunate enough to work with them both, interview them both. I've done bar shows with both guys. Tony O especially. I actually bowled against Tony Esposito once. And he said, I can't bowl. I said, but it's for charity. And I beat him by about 80 pins. And he says, well, it's your national sport, you Polak. On television, too. And then the seats. Tell us about the origin of those seats.
Actually, I acquired them from Ed Belfour. He actually had a website after he retired, and I believe he just purchased them from the stadium, and then he had them signed. I mean, the first one signed by Glenn Hall, wow. Ed Belfour himself, and then Tony Esposito, Tony O.
That's amazing. Original Chicago Stadium seats. Now we go over here, and you got some really cool stuff here. Tell us about this bar table and these stools.
The bar tables actually had custom made. I have one with the old crest, and then also another one from the All-Star game in '91. And then just the bar stools, they had to go with the table.
Yeah, and this original logo is just a little bit different than the Indian Head we're familiar with. That goes to show you the age of it. So you've got all eras represented. Just amazing stuff. We're wrapping up this portion of the program from Ed Bishke's super sensational Blackhawk basement, but we're going to go back to some Blackhawks on videotape right now.
We're back in the spotlight, and early in the NHL season, it looked like the team to beat in the East would be the New York Rangers. Always fun to see one of the original six playing well, particularly for a team that hasn't won a Stanley Cup in something like 50 years. Anyway, when they invaded the stadium last Sunday night, the Blackhawks were ready for a tough-checking, tough-fighting game, and that's what they got. The game was about 2 minutes old. They were roughhousing already, and one of the Rangers got hit in the nose. Get up, you wuss. This is hockey. The Blackhawks would get on the board first. Steve Larmer, of course, 1-0, Chicago. In the second period, Wayne Presley got help from Gilbert and Chelios, 2-0 Hawks. A minute and a half later, Michel Goulet would be in the right place at the right time. 3-0 Hawks. And you thought the rout was on. But 8 minutes into the second period, the Rangers didn't roll over and die. They beat Ed Belfour from long range, 3-1 Blackhawks. Then Chris King with a great individual move gets it over Belfour, 3-2. And the Rangers were rolling. But to clinch it, late second, Steve Thomas scores the goal, makes it 4-2. The Hawks win it 5-2, and everybody was smiles after the game.
EJ's been with me, EJ McGuire's been with me for 7 years, and back in Philadelphia we had great coaches in Teddy Sater, Paul Holmgren, and of course here Daryl Sutter and Jacques Martin. So I've been very fortunate to be surrounded by great coaches and people, and more fortunate to have the teams capable of winning in Philadelphia and Chicago.
We've got back to the basics, and we've got back to playing as 20-man unit out there. We've cut down the individual stuff, we've cut down the turnovers, and when you do that, then we can play our game, dump and chase, and work the corners and score goals, and give credit to Jeremy and Steve Larmer and those playing as well as they have all season, and continuing to play well as of late, and Adam Creighton picking it up a little bit.
At university level, I had a real good team in front of me, and we won the NCAA that year. So I don't know if they knew who I was or where I was, but I just I kept working, and I remember when I signed here with Chicago, I told them I'd keep working until I got to be the #1 guy here.
Yeah, did anybody tell you you've got the single season record for penalty minutes by a Hawk goalie?
No, I didn't know that.
What do you think of that?
I don't know. It's from shooting the puck over the boards too much.
You've got to get to Jack's, 3325 Ridge Road in Lansing. Trivia every Tuesday at 7 p.m. A very intense competitive game. Any of half a dozen teams can win. You've got to get to Oliver, 6100 West 159th Street for my live trivia. Alternate Wednesdays now at 7 p.m. It's a great place with great food and drink and fun. Get to Oliver's on a Wednesday. I'll see ya. Perfect Pitch Auto Repair at 108th and Kedzie is great. Tune-ups, transmissions, AC service, engine repair, tire repair, oil changes. They're open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. They do a great job for me, and they'll do a great job for you. They're quick, and they don't charge an arm and a leg. Perfect Pitch Auto Repair, 108th and Kedzie. Reggie's is a great place with tons of music, interesting people and staff, great food and drink at 21st and State. And amongst the cool things they have, Benkowski Trivia. All shows are now Monday at 6 p.m. Reggie's, 21st and State, a fun place. We're back on the spotlight at the Superman Cave. It's the Blackhawk basement of Ed Bishke. He's got some amazing collectibles. And we have a warning about making sure you get authentic stuff. But right now, we know this is for real. Dennis Savard's game notes. How'd you get those?
Actually, a friend of mine was a collector for years, and he decided to get out of collecting, and he knew that I collected, and he asked me if I'd be interested, and I've acquired some really nice things from him.
Yeah, that's from his coaching days. All right, let's move on the pile. And an amazing contract of Eric Nestorenko, one of the 5 Hawks, to play 1,000 Blackhawk games. What do you tell us the year on that?
This is from 1959, and that's one of my prized possessions. To find one of these is almost impossible.
Yes, he made about $10,000 that year, and it was worth every penny. Okay, and the coach from I believe, much of the 60s and into the 70s, Billy Ray.
Yes, another piece that I acquired from him. One of the best. Yeah, I mean,
and legitimately autographed and continuing. Bill Mosienko, tell the folks at home his amazing record.
3 goals in 21 seconds, a record that'll stand forever.
Yes. And he was a great 50s player. And then a tough defenseman, I believe.
Yes, he was. We have Pierre Plot and also Moose Vasco.
Yes, yes.
And the 2 guys from the 61 Cup.
Yes. And then a name you hear but not too many people know about, from the 30s, a puck from Mush March.
Yes, he scored for the 1934 Stanley Cup, the first one in Blackhawks history, and I believe it was second overtime. And, yeah, another great.
Some amazing stuff here at Ed Bischke's basement. Just a sensational collection. After the video, we're going to talk. I might have some Blackhawk collectibles that you might enjoy in my basement. And right now we're going to go to video of the Chicago Blackhawks, something that might make you smile.
We go out in the ice, we're worried about the team that we're playing and not anybody else. And we should have scored on that 5-on-3 early to maybe set the tone a little bit.
A lot of trades.
Time will tell. I mean, Gareth Butcher's a good, solid, physical defenseman. He plays well. And Danny Quinn is capable of putting the puck in the net. But they gave up some quality players, Memesso and Scribbland, Courtnall, and then Ronning and Dirk. So time will tell. I'm sure they feel they improved themselves.
We played a pretty well second period. We just didn't build on it. And they capitalized on their chances, and we didn't.
What do you think about stopping with the blue line tonight? Gave you guys a hard time coming in.
Well, they lay back, and that's what they play for you to dump the puck in. That's their style, so we dumped it in. We got a few chances, but so the second period we played well, and that was about it.
Chris, you were on this side for a long time. You know what a difference a goaltender like Patrick Waugh can make, and a difference tonight.
Well, they're healthy now, and Patrick's great. He is the best.
You've been watching the Perfect Pitch Auto Repair Sports Spotlight. Perfect Pitch located at 108th and Kedzie. Great repairs, great people. Lansing Floral, 708-474-1212.
Huck Finn, a great wide-ranging menu, along with donuts and ice cream. Open 24 hours at Archer and Damon, 67th and Pulaski, and 105th and Cicero. Imprint Graphics, leaders in booklet, perfect bound saddle stitch, very competitive pricing. Call 708-396-1010.